This is your lady with the word. How many of you have made choices that you regret all of your life? What do you think about the choices that Abraham and Lot made? Well, bad choices leads to terrible, terrible consequences. God made in the book of Genesis chapter 12 and 1, God made a promise to Abraham, and he said, Abraham, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, and I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make you a great nation. So Abraham obeyed, sorta, kinda obeyed, and he departed at the age of 75 years old. But guess what? He took all of his belongings, all of the servants he had in his house. He took his wife Sarah. He took his brother's son Lot, and they departed. And in their travels, Abraham became very, very rich. He gained a lot of livestock, he gained silver, he gained gold, and Lot was with him. Lot was blessed because of his association. You ever thought about that? The people you associate with? Abraham was a godly man, and the blessing of the Lord was upon his life, and the blessing spilled over onto Lot. As long as Lot was with Abraham, he was blessed. But look what happened when he became selfish and wanted to have his own way, when he made a choice to depart from Abraham. Abraham, after all the property they had gained and all the livestock, and both of them were rich, well, the men their servants began to argue and fuss over who would be here and who would be there. And Abraham, being a godly man, he didn't want to argue with his nephew. So he gave him a choice. Look at this. He gave him the first choice. You pick out where you would like to be. And so, of course, Lot, with his selfishness, he chose what he thought was the best place. He looked towards the city and the plains, the best areas, he thought. He didn't realize he was moving into a sinful area. That area, as we know, was Sodom and Gomorrah, a city of sin. And he didn't know that God was going to soon destroy that city. Something happened when you begin to hang around the wrong people. You begin to act the way they act, and you already know better. He stopped believing their philosophies, and you change your values. What you used to think was very important, and to you, you no longer think that way anymore. They begin to have this kind of philosophy. It's all right to do wrong as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. Sex out of marriage is okay. Homosexuality is all right if that's your preference. If two men and two women want to get married, that's okay. That's them. Society has become so corrupt, and if we're not careful, we'll pick up the thinking of our societies. In Genesis 13 and 12 and 13, Lot gradually moved. That's the way it happened. Gradually. He gradually moves closer to the sinful city. And he already knew the men of that city were grievous, wicked people. But he moved closer and closer. Watch who you try to get close to in this life. Lot was put into an awful position of offering his 2 virgin daughters for those wicked men to do with as they please. Oh my God. Lot's selfishness caused him to almost lose his life, caused him to lose everything, caused his wife to be turned into a pillar of salt. Be careful of the choices you make. The choice you make could be to choose a life of righteousness and be saved.